you pay for what you get. Let's get the more expensive one. Here it's kind of like maybe get one of each and hedge your bet, because who knows what's going to happen in terms of trends based on cards.
Welcome, everybody, to Dinging Corners, a baseball podcast powered by SlabStox. I'm your host, Nate. We are here today with Aaron.
Yes.
Founder of SlabStox.
Oh, my gosh. You know what? This is the first podcast we've done together since last October or something.
It's been too long.
It's been so long.
It's been too long.
Obviously, live streams in there.
Well, yeah, a lot of live streams in there. But we today are going to be doing a Dinging Corners mailbag. So you guys sent in questions yesterday on Instagram to be answered today via this. Maybe we'll make this a monthly segment or so. It'll be part one and part two. So we'll get through, make them two shorter videos, get half the questions in part one, half the questions in part two. It should be a pretty good time. Should be another way for you guys to get your questions answered outside of the live stream segment we do every Friday. And DMs, which one of us is really bad at answering.
The other is as well. So
please enjoy this. If you have questions in the future, we'll be doing this every month, I think.
Yes.
That seems like a good idea.
Let's do it.
So let's do it every month. And if we don't get them answered today, hopefully we'll get them answered in the future. Of course, the baseball season this year is only 60 games long, so it's about only 2 months. So if we do it once a month, you get about 2 shots. 2 shots of getting your questions in for this season. So sit back and enjoy part one of Dinging Corners mailbag.
First question is, who do you guys see as a better investment, Wander Franco or Jason Dominguez?
That is definitely a loaded question because both players have different perks on their side. Obviously, Wander Franco is the number 1 rated prospect in all of baseball. He plays shortstop, which is a huge boost. He's got power. He's got patience. He's got a great eye at the plate. Hit tool. Plays good defense. He's the real package. The total deal for the Rays. The problem is Jason Dominguez plays on the Yankees and has the most hype of any international prospect to ever sign. Signed for $5 million for the Yankees last year. If we didn't have these new signing bonuses for international players, he would have blown out every single record on a deal for a 16-year-old. Unfortunately, we don't have those around anymore, so he did not get paid what he was probably due. It all depends. Wander Franco is the more surefire player at this point, production-wise and position-wise, but Jason Dominguez plays on the Yankees. I don't really think you can go wrong either way. I would still probably go Wander Franco because he's got to be cheaper at this point, even though he's the number 1 rated prospect.
Next question. With a shortened 60-game geographic-centric schedule, how will that affect star players' cards in the baseball card market?
All right, so there's one main question here, 2 questions I'm going to answer, though. 60-game season, how is that going to affect cards? And then how is the geographic-centric schedule going to affect cards? 60-game season is going to be weird. Obviously, no minor leagues. So if you're into prospecting, it's a bad time to be buying cards because you're not going to be selling them until next year. So that has a major effect on it. And also, you'll have guys that just kind of pop up and all of a sudden are really good for 60 games, and it's amplified. If a dude is really good from game 60 to 120, not many people are going to care in the middle of the season. But if a random guy is really good for only a 60-game season, all of a sudden tons of people are going to care. So that random Joe Blow, if David Fletcher comes out and hits 7 home runs in his first 40 games and has like a 330 on base, all of a sudden you're going to see David Fletcher cards explode. But if you did that in the middle of the season, nobody would bat an eye. Also, that's a poor example because David Fletcher is not going to hit 7 home runs in like a full season. But you get the point. And then on the geographic-centric schedule, that's going to be a big problem for teams that have to play a bunch of good pitching. So if you think about the teams out there, the Rays have really good pitching, right? The Yankees have really good pitching. The Blue Jays have better pitching now. And so then you're looking at a team and maybe you're trying to invest in somebody on the Red Sox, Andrew Benintendi. And all of a sudden he has to face all of those pitchers that he would normally face, but then he also has to face AL East pitchers, or NL East pitchers. So, why can't Aaron Nola on the Phillies and guys like that. it becomes much more difficult if you are in a league with really, really good pitching. And it also becomes much more difficult if you are in a league with really, really big ballparks. So West Coast teams traditionally have huge ballparks. The Giants have a huge ballpark. The Rockies and Diamondbacks also have huge ballparks, but they are elevated. So tons of balls go out of there anyways. But with huge ballparks come less home runs for West Coast teams too. So I think the biggest boost is going to come to NL Central, AL Central teams where there's not as good a pitching and the ballparks are smaller.
Got a question here. Who is your favorite prospect looking a year out now with the season not happening this year?
All right. So again, Aaron just mentioned it, but I'm going to mention it every time it's brought up. No minor league season. If you're really into Bowman Chrome prospects, now is not the time to buy. So any prospects I bring up that aren't going to play in the majors this year, I would stay away from. I don't think Wander Franco gets up into the majors. Jason Dominguez doesn't get up into the majors, so I wouldn't buy now. I would wait for hype to die down and buy in the offseason. Because there is some hype to these guys just because baseball is starting, right? So as for a prospect in the future, somebody that's close but not close enough, maybe like a Jared Kelenic would be a good buy. He just hit 2 home runs yesterday in Mariners interleague, or inter squad scrimmage. He hit 2 home runs, really, really nice home runs. If you can find the video on Twitter, I would look that up because it sounds amazing. Ball to bat, absolute beautiful sound. But maybe a guy like Jared Kelenic would be a good choice. Your Joe Adells and your Luis Roberts are going to get called up. Even a guy like Wander Franco, if the Rays are in a really good position, might get called up. And then you got those other guys that will be filling in. And even Jared Kelenic, if he does get called up and hits really well, should be really exciting.
Next question is, what's the most cost-effective way to buy a lot of cards? And specifically, I guess we can focus on baseball, but this does apply to all other sports out there. So if you're looking on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, you're for sure going to find those one-off deals, if you have some good connections or you follow the right accounts, that might get you, 20% lower than eBay. But if you're looking to go and buy quantity that you can actually bank on to make a decent amount of profit while also trying to get the best deal because there is the most competition. So there is some sort of a race to the bottom. Obviously, specific cards have specific values, so people wouldn't really drop them below them that often. But eBay is for sure the place to go to get the most quantity while also trying to maintain the best cost level for your purchases. So if you go there right now, you can definitely buy very well on eBay. But in the future, SlabStox platform, you will be able to do all that in a consolidated fashion while also tracking your own investments on the SlabStox platform. Next question, Panini number 30, Robert Pawson autograph. Is that a good investment?
There's a general rule of thumb that Aaron and I always follow when investing in basketball cards, baseball cards, football cards, or we did, and what we advise people to do now since we don't invest anymore. And it's that if you don't have a license for that product, we wouldn't buy unless it's for personal collection. If you're a really big fan of Robert Pawson and you don't want to buy Bowman Chrome autos, then you can go to Panini and buy the Court Kings autos or Diamond Kings autos or anything like that. But because they don't have a license and they can't show the logos on the cards, we stay away from them. They're just not as popular. So I would, if it's personal collection, by all means, you're still getting an auto, right? That's really cool. You get low-numbered cards. You get your favorite player.
Cost-effective, too, if it's for personal collection.
Extremely cost-effective. But if it's for long-term investment, always go Bowman Chrome for prospects. Always go Topps for baseball. Always go Panini for basketball, even though there's not really any other options for basketball right now. And always go Panini for football.
Next question, Luis Urias. Will he make an impact on the Brew Crew this year?
So Luis Urias obviously just traded from the Padres to the Brewers in the Zach Davies and Trent Grisham for Luis Urias and Eric Lauer deal. It's a little bit frightening. Luis Urias was a top 15 prospect for a number of years for the Padres, and they got rid of him after one season in the majors, not even a full season in the majors, for a Zach Davies, who's a nice pitcher, but is soft contact and no strikeout-oriented guy, so if he doesn't have really good defense behind him, could really struggle. And for Trent Grisham, who before last year looked like a busted first-round prospect, we drafted him 15th overall a number of years ago. He looked like a bust, and all of a sudden he came out of nowhere, and you trade a top 15 prospect for that package, that's really, really a big red flag for me. But I will say this. Luis Urias, shortstop, pretty good shortstop. Position of need for the Brewers. Orlando Arcia is a bust too, and a former top 10 prospect himself, which is a good, story. In case you're excited about Luis Urias, is that not every prospect succeeds. Orlando Arcia being one of the main examples. And so Luis Urias, I will bet on him though. He's got a really, 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 really good hit tool and developing power, and guys that move to Miller Park with those types of attributes seem to succeed really, really well. Miller Park does a lot of things for a lot of guys' careers, and I don't think Luis Urias will be any different as long as he continues to make contact. So I am excited about it. I don't know if I'd go out and buy an acetate out of 10 or a platinum out of 1 or anything like that. But if you want to make small investments and get a Topps Chrome Sapphire for $15, $20, you want to get some Top Series 1 rookies from 2019, 18? 19 Top Series 1. If you want to get, some Topps Chrome Autos or whatever, Bowman Chrome Autos, by all means, I just wouldn't go overboard on it.
Is the 2020 Top Series 1 short print Gavin Lux better to buy than the base rookie Gavin Lux from 2020 Top Series 1? And for a little bit of information before Nate gets into this, I'll also add some opinion on it. The base rookie for Gavin Lux is around $5 to $7. The short print variation is $70. So it is around 10% of the cost for a base versus a short print. But I think you, doing a bunch of different baseball research with Topps rookies, will know the way around the base rookies versus the variations.
Yeah, so obviously we always like scarcity, right? Numbered cards over non-numbered cards. Short prints, though they're not numbered, obviously over base. That being said, if you can buy 4 base, now that PSA's prices are more expensive, it's a little bit iffy. But say you buy 7 base for
$7 a piece.
$7, or okay, sorry. Say you buy 10 base for the $70, the cost of 1 short print, and you get 10 Gavin Lux cards. And if you you grade them by PSA, $12 a pop.
Around that now, but that's if you grade 100 plus by yourself, mostly around 14 to 15.
Okay, so we'll say $14 a pop. That's $140 plus your $70. You're at $210 right now.
$55 for PSA 10. That's what they're worth right now.
So $55. If you get 3 of them to grade PSA 10, and you sell the rest ungraded, you make your money.
For sure. And then I just also looked, and the PSA 10 variation is selling around $250, $260 right now, which to me, as a basketball card enthusiast that looks at the basketball market more than baseball, it's crazy to see a $75 baseball card, $70, $75. PSA 10 is only $250, $260. In basketball, that's $400 for sure.
Yep.
So there might be some good margin there to be made, even just on buying the PSA 10 of that variation, if you compare it to basketball.
And the thing about buying the short print is, if you buy the short print and you're like, all right, I can buy this many base, grade them, I'm in it for $210, or a little bit more. I can buy this one short print for $70 and grade it for $15, and I'm in it for $85. You can make $260, you're good. But what's the odds that your one risk. Short print is going to PSA 10?
Definitely some risk, and Nate definitely has experience with this. They're opening Top Series 2 packs in 2019. The Vladimir Guerrero Jr. short print non-numbered, a lot of the top right corners were dinged on them. If you look at the pop report, it's maybe like 40% PSA 10s for that card.
I have 6 Vlad Guerrero Jr. short prints. Some pulled from hobby boxes, some pulled from jumbo boxes, and some pulled from retail. All of them dinged.
Yeah.
I have 1 million Castaneras. All of them dinged.
1 million. Imagine how rich you'd be.
Yeah, I don't have 1 million Castaneras. I have like 7. And so it's one of those things that even if you are to buy, and this is a good point, even if you are to buy the 10 Gavin Luxes, the odds you get 3 that are gradable if you're buying off of eBay,
Yeah.
probably not great.
Yeah, yeah. So there's always some risk with buying raw cards or non-graded, as we like to call them too. So just know that if you're buying base, if you're buying short prints, both are good ways to go. Take what Nate said about grading the base, and then also think about how getting that one more scarce card is less volatile compared to the base, and then make a decision from there. But you should be pretty good going with either of those two options.
Yeah. And another thing to keep in mind is that if trends change, there's a clear base trend right now where people love base. If people drop out of the hobby and that goes away, you have the security of having a short print in hand compared to base PSA 10s that could drop significantly if nobody cares.
Yeah, people don't even have to drop out of the hobby. They just need to move on to the next thing. So much of this stuff over the last 3 to 6 months have been new trends, new people. Where is it moving? Keep in mind, 3 to 6 months from here, 9 months, 12 months, more people are going to come in. They'll probably set their own trends, and then we could see it shift depending on what they like.
Yep.
There's a lot of questions that are like this in this one, but Soto versus Acuna, who is the better long-term option between the two?
All right, so obviously, age-wise, slight edge goes to Soto. He's a year younger. And also, production-wise, he's been producing for the same amount of time as Ronald Acuna, but a year younger. That's a huge bonus. You look at his historical comps for what he's been doing, 900-plus OPS in his first 2 years as a 19-year-old and 20-year-old. That hasn't been done before for guys that don't become Hall of Famers, except for like Andrew Jones, I think, who's not a Hall of Famer but was insanely good. On the other end, you have Ronald Acuna, who is also insanely good, 1 year older, plays a more premium position in center field as opposed to left, and also adds value on the bases compared to Soto. Soto's the better bat. Ronald Acuna's the better all-around player, just slightly older. And also Acuna might be the first guy. He's going to hit 40-40. He didn't hit 40-40 last year, did he? Or did he? He didn't.
He did not. He was like
missed it.
He was like 40-37 or something.
Yeah. But he might be the first guy. His goal is to get 50-50, be the first guy to get 50-50. There's no chance Soto gets that. Soto might end up being like a 50-10 guy, but not 50-50, or 50-40 or 50-30, whichever way Ronald Acuna goes. And so it's kind of preference. Soto has the better all-around bat, but the worst all-around game. Ronald Acuna has the better all-around game. I don't really think you can go wrong either which way. I think the prices will keep going up on both these guys. They both look like all-time greats. But if you're looking for somebody to be able to replace Mike Trout as the all-around best player in baseball in a couple of years, Ronald Acuna would be the guy I'd go after.
Next question is Ronald Acuna Jr. Topps Chrome PSA 10 or Ronald Acuna Jr. Topps Chrome Update PSA 10. Each year, Topps releases these different sets. One is Topps Chrome, which comes during the middle of the summer. The next one is Topps Chrome Update that releases in retail, Target only, I believe, right?
Yep.
Target only around fall when Update releases. And for Ronald Acuna specifically, his Topps Chrome Update picture is not the same as the Topps Update picture. And a lot of people love that bat up Topps Update, US 250, I believe the number is. And then the Topps Chrome picture is an airbrush photo of him in a spring training game. So there's a lot of different things going on here with why people buy specific cards. But for Ronald Acuna, it's one of the most confusing things because there's so many different rookie cards of Ronald Acuna. For the Topps Chrome Update versus the Topps Chrome Rookie, they are both around the same price, both between $100 and $125. Which one will be the better one to buy to go up in the future? I cannot sit here and make a call on that because, as we discussed earlier, trends switch for whatever reason when new people come into the hobby. Some people might come in, hundreds of people that want to buy the Topps Chrome Ronald Acuna because they're like, that one released first, I want that one. That one will go up in value. But then some other people are like, well, Topps Chrome Update is more rare. It maybe has a better picture. We want that one. And that's just something that neither Nate or I can predict. And if the card's worth the exact same right now, it's pretty much perceived as people are willing to spend the same amount for both. So there is really no edge to one in terms of like, this one's more expensive. More people want that one, so they're paying a higher price. You pay for what you get. Let's get the more expensive one. Here it's kind of like maybe get one of each and hedge your bet because who knows what's going to happen in terms of trends based on cards.